Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the Stage 2 American League Showdown. This is going to be a tips and strategy video. We're going to go over every mission I had this run, as well as in the descriptions will be a detailed list of every single mission I've had, whether it's the basic missions or it's the missions in the first showdown, second showdown, or third showdown. And we'll do a breakdown of kind of the missions I think you should 100% do. And there's some missions that are just a little bit longer that might not be worth the time investment because we're trying to do this efficiently so you can unlock those future stars cards that are in the team affinities. So quick disclaimer. These vouchers that you earn in the Stage 2 American League Showdown can only be used once you have 70 fans in whichever team affinity you want to put them in. You cannot use these vouchers until you have at least 70 fans because it's only for Stage 2. If you are not up to 70 fans and you want some help on the other showdowns that are within the divisions, I have tips and strategy videos for those. You should probably go check them out for Stage 1. Alright, now let's get into this Stage 2 Showdown. So, unlike the Stage 1 showdowns and other showdowns we've had, the difficulty is standard throughout the entire showdown. It does not get higher than veteran difficulty. So, in each mission, I'm not going to go like this difficulty is because they're all at veteran difficulty, just so you guys know. Alright, let's get into these missions and break them down a little bit. On this run, the first mission I had was Walk Off Houston. So, in this mission, you enter the bottom of the ninth in a 3-3 tied game against the Astros, and you have to walk them off. On the mound is the hard-throwing left-handed pitcher, Billy Wagner, 94 overall, that you get from doing the collections. He does throw the ball pretty hard. He hits maybe close to 100 miles an hour. He has a very slow slider. The mission itself isn't too bad because you only have to win the game, and you're the home team, so if you do score a run, you walk them off. If not, you can still come in and pitch in the 10th inning and try to walk them off again in the 10th inning if you don't let up any runs. So I think this mission 100%, even though it's only for one final showdown run, you should definitely give it a try. It's not too bad of a mission. Just know that when you go into this mission, if you have some guys that are better against left-handed pitching, especially because this is going to be one of your first 3 missions, that you might not have the most built-up gold or diamond players, that you want to use some of your platoon guys that you might have picked for left-handed pitching for this mission. The next mission that I had was Break the Tie. So entering the bottom of the 8th in an 8-8 tie against the Royals, come away with the win. This is another just win the game mission. You come in the bottom of the 8th against Mike Minor's veteran card. It's only a gold 81 overall card. He's also a left-handed pitcher. So for me, this was kind of nice because I could line it up where I already had my left-handed platoon hitters that I had for Wagner come in and they get to face Minor too. Minor does not throw very hard. I find him actually very easy to hit. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to score some runs on him, and then you'll have to come in and pitch an inning and pretty much close out this and get a save. Or if you just score a bunch of runs, you just have to come in and pitch. Either way, not too bad of a mission. Highly recommend doing it. The next mission is Outduel Snell. This is essentially the same mission that you see in the AL East Showdown from Stage 1. However, instead of it being the live series Blake Snell, it's the face of the franchise Blake Snell. You have to tally 2 runs, an extra base hit without letting up a run in the first 3 innings of the game. Blake Snell does throw pretty hard. He's another left-handed pitcher. So actually in this first set of 3 missions, which this is the first time it happened for me after doing this maybe 6 or 7 times, is they were all left-handed pitchers. So I kind of had a decent platoon of players that could hit left-handed pitching. A guy that's particularly good as a silver player for hitting left-handed pitching, and he also actually has some power against righties, is Hunter Renfroe from the Tampa Bay Rays. Pretty much if he's available, I always pick him as a silver because I just really like his swing. He always has a lot of home run power. Just a really good card early on to pick. We'll go over a little bit of who I like, silver, golds. There'll also be a list of them in the description as well. So this mission does take a little bit, so I recommend it being optional. I just skipped it because I don't necessarily need the 1 run. Another change to the Stage 2 showdowns is the first 3 missions are only worth 1 final showdown run each, where the third mission used to be worth 2 final showdown runs. They changed that this time around. There is also about 4 to 5 other missions you can get in this first 3 set. They will be in the description below. Look them over. If you got anything else that I don't have in the list in the description, let me know in the comments. I'll add it. Also, if you have any questions about any of the missions that are not particularly in this video that I went over in detail, leave it down in the comments or hit me up on Twitter or PSN and I will try to help you through them because I have almost everything written down, and I can kind of tell you some advice on how to complete that mission. So all of the first showdowns are set up like this. You get to face whatever pitcher it is, which there is a plethora of pitchers you can get in the first showdown, and I'll go over a quick list of that. The list will also be in the description. Is you start out with a runner on second base. You get 12 outs to score 3 runs because you're down 2-0. So it's really not that bad. They give you a man in scoring position, so some of the perks that involve scoring position are much better, especially for the showdown. So some of the list of pitchers that I could have faced, for this showdown I faced Dennis Eckersley, the postseason version, which is part of his Evolution Player Program, the Diamond 93 overall card. However, some of the other list of pitchers that I had faced was Mariano Rivera, 88 overall Diamond card, the Sean Doolittle from when he played for the Oakland A's, left-handed pitcher, as well as the rookie Felix Hernandez that you could get in the very first event. So there's a wider range of pitchers that you can get, so it's kind of hard to go platoon right or left-handed pitching. However, with only having to score 3 runs, giving you 12 outs, it's not too bad, especially on the veteran difficulty. Moving on. So in the second set of missions, when I talked about the change that you only get 1 showdown run in the first 3 sets, now in the second set of 3 missions, you get 2, 2, and 2. So the second set of missions are actually a little bit more worthwhile depending on what they are. On this run, the first mission I had was You Can't Stop Me, Texas. So this is essentially trailing the Rangers 6-5 in the bottom of the ninth, make the comeback and walk it off. You have to face Leclerc, their closer, right-handed pitcher, and they give you a runner on first base. Your second batter starts off. So if you want to kind of make this mission a little bit easier, you can put your fastest guy at leadoff because it's your leadoff hitter that's on first base. So find a quick guy, the fastest guy in your lineup, and then maybe put a couple power guys, 2, 3, 4, in case you set your lineup to maybe have a couple hitters to set the table. It depends how you guys like to do your lineup. Personally, I like to put a speedster at leadoff and then just power afterwards, or just all power. I like the long ball, what can I say? But this mission was pretty easy. Leclerc does throw a little bit hard, he's a little erratic, so I would maybe take a few pitches. However, really, you could do it in one swing and hit a home run, and you already complete the mission. So 100% recommend doing this one. The second mission that I had in this set of 3 was Crush Kopech. So you have to face the prospect Michael Kopech, who's actually one of the best pitchers in the game right now. He maybe went down the totem pole a little bit with all these future stars coming out, but he's definitely in a lot of higher-end players' rotations because he does have outlier, and he throws the ball 102, 103. In this mission, you start off in the first inning, you have to get an extra base hit and 2 runs, and you can't allow a run in the first 2 innings. What I do is I go in, because you're the away team, I go and bat the top of the first. If I don't get an extra base hit or score a run, I actually just back out of it. So I kind of make this mission, in my mind, optional. We'll go in, see what you kind of do in the first inning, and then if you don't get anything, I would just back out. I don't think it's worth pitching in the bottom of the first, going into the bottom of the second just to get an AL Gold player. I just don't think it's worth it. Next mission that I had in this was the first time I've had this mission, and doing this 6 or 7 times is All Day Schmidt. So this is, you have to face the future star Clark Schmidt. That's the actual set 2 Yankees future star card. You have to score 3 runs in the first 2 innings without allowing 2 runs. And they actually start you off with the bases loaded. So this mission sounds ridiculous. However, they give you the bases loaded and your 4-hitter up. And you got to score 3 runs. So once again, it could be a single swing, you hit a dinger, you hit one in the gap. You've already pretty much scored at least 1 run, maybe 2 runs. This is another mission where if you wanted to make it a little bit easier, you could load up the front end of your lineup because it's your 1, 2, and 3 hitter that are on base with speedsters. Get your best hitters in that 4, 5, and 6 spots and just whack away at the ball. Get a couple hits, bada boom, bada bing, you get 2 final showdown runs. Okay, now we're going into the second showdown. In this second showdown run, I had to face Nolan Ryan, the 92 overall card from the collections. I've always struggled hitting Nolan Ryan. I think this is probably the hardest pitcher that I had to face in this entire showdown. I just don't like seeing his motion. He's so erratic. He does throw a pretty hard fastball, but his 9s are pretty good. So I just, when I was hitting him in this showdown, I just didn't seem like I was getting any pop off the bat even when I got like good contact. Plus, they have a good outfield in Houston, and they add Bagwell and Biggio on their team, which means that Biggio's even better than Altuve in the field, which if you hit one backside, it just seems to get flagged down at second base. But on the second inning showdown, they give you a man in scoring position on second base, as well as you're only down 2-0, and you get 15 outs. So it's really not a hard showdown to do. It's actually pretty easy in my personal opinion. I think Nolan Ryan was the worst out of the 3 pitchers that I faced in this. The other 2 pitchers that I have faced is the Nate Pearson Prospects card as well as the Prospect Kopech card. There is also a chance in the 3 missions before the second showdown in here that you can face Kopech and Pearson. As you can see, I had to face Kopech this time. There's a mission where I have to face Pearson, much like the Clark mission. So there's a chance you could actually face them before the showdown. But I think that this showdown's pretty easy. So moving on to the last 3 set missions that are the smaller missions. The first one I had was Don't Be Sitting on Britton. So you have to go up against the Prime Zach Britton, which is right now the World Series reward. And in the bottom of the 9th with a man on first, you have to walk him off. So essentially you're starting with your second batter in the bottom of the 9th, and all you have to do is win the game. It's much like the earlier mission that I was talking about against Leclerc with the Texas Rangers. Britton's motion's not too crazy this year. They changed it a little bit, so I don't think he's as hard to hit. He's still a sinker baller, so you just have to make sure you get a higher pitch rather than something in the ground, because when a man on first, he's definitely trying to get you to ground into a double play, and he's throwing the sinker low. Highly recommend doing it, though. Quick, easy mission. He's a left-handed pitcher, in case anybody didn't know. Moving on to the next one is Comeback Against Cody. So essentially, this is the postseason Cody Allen. Also part of the collections. This is the card you get if you do the Indians collection. So in this mission, you enter the game in the 8th inning, down 5-3 against the Cleveland Indians, and you have to make a comeback by scoring 3 runs and not allowing a run. Essentially, you have to win the game. You have to score the 3 runs and not allow a run, so you have to complete the entire game. I just think this mission's way too long for what you get. Unless you really need the runs because you failed some of the earlier missions, I would recommend just going in and quitting out. Cody Allen's not really too hard to hit. It's just the Indians have a really good defense, and I just don't think it's worth having to score 3 runs and play the 2 innings unless you really need the runs. However, it's up to you guys. I'll mark it as optional in the description. I personally don't do this one, though. The third and final mini mission I had in this third set was Take the King's Crown. This is to go up against the rookie Felix Hernandez and tally 2 extra base hits and 2 runs without allowing a home run in the first 3 innings. So essentially, if you hit 2 home runs, you complete the mission. The Felix Hernandez doesn't have too much crazy stuff, but once again, he's a sinker baller, so he likes to keep the ball low. So you have to wait for him to throw something up in the zone to hit it. If not, you'll hit a bunch of balls on the ground. And even if you get base hits, they're not extra base hits. I did this mission just because I only had 8 runs whenever I did it, obviously, because it's 10-15. And on top of that, I just didn't have a great power lineup for the final showdown. Not that you need a great power lineup, however, Clark Schmidt and Brady Singer, who are the final showdown bosses, both are sinker ballers, and it's just hard to lift the ball. So you want guys that have a little bit more power so that it does get out when you do lift one up in the air. I just didn't have great batters. Like, I had a decent team, but not really guys I like too much. We'll go over my lineup once I talk about the final showdown here. So in the final showdown this time, I'm going to have to face future star Clark Schmidt. And if you don't get Clark Schmidt, I've only ever got Brady Singer. That's the only 2 I've gotten. If you guys get somebody else, let me know. Put it in the description. I'll add it to the list. I'll also update anything in the description of any more missions or showdown bosses that I do discover, whether it's the first, second, or third, as in final showdown bosses. I'll always update the description with as much information as I can. And if you guys find anything I don't have in the description, just leave a comment and I'll add it for sure. And I appreciate when you guys do find stuff out that maybe I didn't get to yet, because I'm only one man. I can only play it so much, and the RNG from it only can give you so many results, so sometimes you don't get everything. Now let's go look at my squad and what I had this time, and some of the cards you can get, and why I think this showdown's a little bit easier than the division showdowns. So looking at my squad, as you can see, this time around, I got the 99 overall Mickey Mantle and the 99 overall Craig Biggio. What I like about these showdowns in the initial draft, they always let you get 2 diamonds and 3 golds. So when you're drafting initially, you want to pick your 2 best diamond hitters. You want to pick gold hitters as well. Maybe sometimes it seems like in the gold round they give you all pitchers. If they give you all pitchers in the gold round, go with a starting pitcher over a relief pitcher. In the silver round, make sure you grab a relief pitcher. You will need a starting pitcher and a relief pitcher for these missions. However, by doing these missions, they give you a lot of golds and diamonds. As you can see, I have the 99 overall Craig Biggio, 89 Matt Olson, 86 Julio Rodriguez, and 99 Mickey Mantle, as well as 3 golds. And I have a gold Griffey and Laureano on the bench. I'll probably bring Griffey in for Mike Clevenger whenever the time comes. I might put in Laureano. Actually, I'll put in Griffey for this Kyle Seager. I don't know why he's not in anyway. Laureano will come in for Mike Clevenger when the time's needed. It might be Hunter Renfroe, though, because I really like Hunter Renfroe. This is the guy I was talking about. Look at that power versus lefties. He's a guy I would look for in the silver rounds. Absolutely mashes. Look at the pitchers real quick. In the initial round, they forced me to take a gold pitcher of some sort. I had an option to take a closer or 3 starters. I took Mike Clevenger because he has the highest Ks per 9. Ks per 9 are important because you got to strike guys out in some of the missions for starting pitchers. As well as I took a silver closing pitcher because there are some times where you just have to close out games in some of the missions and you want to have a closer. Other than that, I would not pick any other pitchers. You only need 1 starter, 1 closer. That's it. Also, just so you guys know, when I mentioned the other showdowns, position does not matter when you're going into showdown, so load your lineup with the best hitters. And I will also have a list of guys who I think are good pickups that have a little bit glitchier swingings in the lower overall ratings and maybe some of the lower diamonds. Obviously, you see a Mickey Mantle or Craig Biggio or somebody that's 99 overall, you should probably pick him up because he's one of the better cards in the game. I feel like that's just common sense. So I do think those are the best options, but I'm not going to mention those options because I just feel like that's a common sense option. That's not something somebody needs help with. So guys, I really think that you guys can knock out this showdown and get all of this XP that you can see at the bottom, plus these stub rewards and those 5 AL Team Affinity Stage 2 vouchers. This showdown is awesome. It's not that hard. You get a lot of experience. You get a lot of stubs back, and you get 5 easy vouchers that get you 20 fans in the Stage 2 Team Affinities that unlock those future star cards that are 90 to 95 overall. Guys, I really appreciate everyone watching these videos. Please hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up so that I know I'm doing a good job, as well as hit that notification bell so you get notifications whenever I upload a video. Also, if you are enjoying the content and you want to watch me live, you can watch me on twitch.tv/HopefulChewbacca. I stream Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I do also stream sometimes. However, I do not have a set schedule. If you want to know when I'm going live those days, follow me on Twitter at Hopeful1137. Also, you can add me on PlayStation Network. We can play a friendly. You can hit me up with questions, concerns. If you need tips or strategies for anything in Diamond Dynasty, I'll try to help you guys out. That is Hopeful1137. Guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. You guys have a great day and be safe.